snapshot, just one slide. We're Amsterdam-based, full-service internet company, 28 people, and we've been around since quite a while now, and familiar with DNN since 4.8, so I think that's about 9 years, probably somewhere around that. And it's been a lot of fun. Because most of our money is earned by custom development. This is a little bit out of our comfort zone, because today I'm going to show you what can be accomplished by using standard modules. Because we had a project and we were amazed by what can be accomplished. So I want to show you a demo case, some insights that we had, and the possibilities it might give you, and how to make it your own. So our story begins in Holland, famous for its canals, tulips, and of course we're Amsterdam based, so on every corner you can see the menu card from coffee shops. And our store actually begins in the Gay Pride. So it's a big day for gay, lesbian events, and it attracts about 1 million visitors every year. And the reason our story starts here is because there was this guy, he was 14 years old, he was gay, and he said, I want to party on the boat as well. I want to celebrate. I want to be proud of the fact that I'm gay. And we're a pretty liberal country, but suddenly there was this huge discussion. And some people said, well, sure, you can party, why not? But other people say, well, the gay pride is not just pride, it's actually porn. And some people even said, I knew it, gays are all pedophiles. So this was the boat after the other boat. So some people might have point thinking it might be porn, but then again, we're in Spain and it might also be football. Conclusion, the boy got on the boat. He got to party. But there was, for the first time, actually acknowledgement that you can be underage and gay. There was not a lot of awareness for that. And they also realized that there was not a community, a safe community where people, kids could interact, chat, meet in a safe environment. So they built Young and Out, which means young and out of the closet. That was about 5-6 years ago. First platform was built in Ning, so it's outdated last year. It was not responsive and not attractive for those kids. So the customer came to us and said, well, I need a new platform, it needs to be responsive, it needs to be able to look great, and we must focus on meeting new kids, chatting, discussing, and we hope to have some spin-off for the offline meetings as well. They were used to chat, used to video chat, forum, and event calendar, so that was mainly what they gave us to do. And we said, well, our view is slightly different. Sure, we'll focus on meeting new people, and of course it has to look great. The video chat, we didn't work that out because Google Hangouts, it will crash when you have 8 video viewers or more, and they were used to 20 to 30 people. So we just took that outside our job, and we said the forum is a little bit like the 90s or 2000s. Because when we looked at the forum, there were a lot of new members just saying, hi, I'm new in this community. And someone would say, hi, welcome. That's not much of a forum, so we said, well, I've heard of Facebook. I mean, it's going to be huge one day. So they have this activity stream, and it's particularly suitable for those kind of reactions, like I'm new, and like, stuff like that. So that's where we were heading. Because this is an environment with kids, and they're not just gay or lesbian, but some of them don't know yet whether they're gay or not. Or they do know, but their family or friends don't. So I'm going to show you slides, and we anonymized names and pictures. So the concept we created was, sorry for some Dutch language, I'll translate. So we have the community at the tip of our fingers. We want to build a digital lifestyle for gay kids, and it's focused on chatting, discussing, and meeting. And first of all, it absolutely needs to be a safe environment. So before registering, it says here, new members will be screened. So after sign up, you need to prove that you're underage, you need under 18. So there's a check by Skype or a copy of your passport. On the left-hand side, it says it's supervised by our web team. So we want to be a safe place, not to be a member, but all the way. And on the right-hand side, because there was a lot of Facebook rumors back then, you are in control of your own privacy. You control whether a certain info like sexuality is just for you, for your friends, or for public. So we started with a very simple sign-up form. So it's a two-step sign-up. First, you need to have the very basics, just first name, last name, and of course a password. It's not really readable, is it? Well, trust me, that's what it says. So after submitting this, you'll be reviewed, and if you're really under 18, you'll be granted access. And that's where the new, you get to meet new people. You can search by name, because a lot of members get there by knowing other people they met offline or in other chat rooms. So you can search by name, and you can search by city name or province. That's a very successful way, by the way, but more about that later. We have the meetings. On the right-hand side, there are about 15 local young and out groups, and by filtering that, you can see whether where the offline meetings are, and of course, you can submit your attendance. And there are also groups formed on local level. This is the best part. When we went live, everyone was really enthusiastic about this. It's really simple, but it exhales an active community. Before, there were about 3,000 members in the community, but nobody really knew that they were active, because it was all tucked away in a forum or a chat, and there was nothing on the homepage. Right now, they could see on the right top the newest 10 members. Every day, if you visit, you see there are 10 more new members. Is that active? Who is online? After school, so after 3 o'clock, between 20 and 30 people are online all the time. So it's like a really nice bar. So in the activity stream, people say, I'm new here, and people say like. And you can upload photos or just say how you feel that day. And it's about 200 to 300 interactions per day. So it's really successful in its simplicity. These are the numbers. So the community grew by 50% visits and visitors. A lot of gain is there, and session duration also 15% from 6 to 9 minutes. But the most important thing is, what did the audience think? And it's all Dutch, but trust me, it says, wow, what a huge improvement. And on the left top it says, wow, much better this way. I think I'm going to be more active. So that means a lot. One of the insights for us, because we didn't predict this, we knew it would be successful, but the journal module, because the activity stream is just a journal module, is more than that. Because all things that were tucked away in the website, it makes it very explicit at the homepage, and it shows that it's really an active community, and it stimulates to participate. So we take a dive more into the journal, because it gets a lot of possibilities. So what did we do? We used platform. We tweaked some with the profile fields. We used the member directory and journal. The Who's Online module combined with some scheduled tasks. The DNN forum and East DNN News. So the last one is the only module that we actually bought, because we think it's better than our own news module. So one step further, the homepage is nothing more than 3 modules. In the center, there's the journal. On the right top, there's the new 10 member, that's the member directory, and here's the Who's Online module. We have a settings tab with the members, and it's very easy to say, well, take the user ID or the date created, and just give me the 10 members. Choose descending, and you have the 10 newest members. Users online, also very easy. Just implement the module, and you choose show me the users online, so the registered users. And in scheduled task, we set every minute it will check whether you're logged in or not, and it will show you if you're online. One thing that was a bit strange to me is that in the host settings, there's a function turning off users online. And we have that checked. It still works. I don't know why. So
no, it's just a cleaning after your offline that
okay.
it's just a cleanup job. It's not
So it should be like this. Great. I learned something as well. DNN News is it's a great module because you can create your events, but it also has a connection with the journal module. So there's a function automatic post to journal and social media or social media. So if one of the 15 groups will create a local event, it will show up on the homepage and it's directly visible. Yeah, we still needed the forum. We couldn't get rid of that one. At first we looked at Active Forum because we felt that it was the most updated version, but when we installed it, it broke, so we switched to DNN Forum, and it worked like a charm, so we stuck with that. Our conclusion is the journal ties everything together. So what are the possibilities with that? Because, and I did some testing in 7.3.4, that's the version we're in. We're planning to upgrade to 8.1, we're waiting for the DCC. And in 7.3.4 there are about 32 journal types, and in DNN 8 it already is 35. And it's a lot of work to find out how this interacts with other modules. I did that for you. So this is how it works. On the left-hand side it has the settings. Over here are all settings corresponding to that. So over here we have the blog setting. If you would incorporate the fact that a new blog is posted or there's a reaction on the blog and you want that incorporated on the homepage in your journal, that's the one. And the DNN Connect blog, I mean, I did not check all blog modules, but that's one that is really working. All these modules in the middle, they all work seamlessly with these journal types. There's one thing I might add to the DNN Exchange that is not working in DNN 8 yet, but is brilliant. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
sorry.
The DNN Exchange module. It's also known as QA. It's pretty much exactly the same as DNNsoftware.com, the questions and answers. I think it's a very powerful module, and it really... sorry?
It's not fully implemented there.
No, it's not full, but it's very usable already. It stops where Evoke Social is stepping up with gamification. But as a question and answer module, it's very usable. And it's also connected to the journal already. But I'm looking for someone putting it together for DNN 8. Sebastian. So that was the project. And we thought, well, this was pretty successful, right? Customer happy, community happy. Well, it wasn't all flawless. So I have some I call project profile killers I'd like to share. Because of course we had some twiddling with profile fields. We searched, but sexual preference was not a standard profile field in DNN, and there were some others. So, yeah, so we created that. But we have 28 people, and configuring DNN is now done by project managers. And we really need to communicate if you change anything as a project manager, because it has effects to development. So what happened in our case is that we had a sexual preference, we had a drop down, and then the customer said, well, you can be gay and transgender. Or maybe you don't know yet. So we had to adjust that checkboxes and add another value. And maybe the next day, maybe next week, you're going to test the solution again and find it broke. And by then you forgot that you did this. You tweak with profile fields, and it takes some time before I go to Pascal, our developer, to say, well, what happened here? So this could be a time saver. Estimating front end. We pride ourselves that I think we're about 98% accurate on estimating, except for the community. You should do this ×3, because there are a lot of states. It's not just a journal where you can post something, and it must be responsive, of course, but you can like this. Pascal and I can like this. Pascal and I and 3 other people like this. All should be taken care of in front end. form, of course. A lot of buttons, options, emails, and getting the chat. It's just DNN Chat, by the way, the signal-wire application. To get that mobile friendly, that took a while. This one, it was a nice edge case, because it's very important that the members are under 18, so birth date is a required field. But if you have the customer registration form type, yes, two-step, including a read-only required date field and additional required fields that have to be filled in after initial registration, you get this one. That took some time to figure out what went wrong there, but it was the birth date type control. Just make it a string and you can go on. So it's just for the date type. And maybe it's an edge case, but it's something we ran into. And of course, we put it in a bug tracker as well. Next one. It's just, sorry? Yeah. It's not really really a huge thing, but it's just annoyance. Of course, if you set your profile for friends only, it will anonymize your picture. So DNN will put stars in there, and that URL does not exist. So we'll generate a 404. And besides the fact it could look better, first, after going live with the community, you want to check the event viewer once in a while to see if everything is still going okay. And then you can do without all those 404 errors. Just put a default picture in and you're good to go. Last one, member list, because we were working in 734. Member lists showed all members instead of just the members from the group, if you put it down on a group page. Again, not really a huge thing. And they said, well, you can upgrade to 7.4. But upgrading seemed a bit heavy solution when you just can copy that file from the 7.4.1 solution. So this already has also been discussed in the DNN Q&A. The great module, may I add? So now we have a great solution, great user experience, and all the pitfalls you might avoid. So you're good to go. Because all these components, you can build a great intranet or a great community or project sites or the business club. So for all kinds of solutions. So just a very plain intranet. You know these intranets, right? With news and agenda, calendar, and the blog. Peter's not here, right? No. There's an old picture from Peter Dunker. So this could be much more lively if I just copied the WhatsApp from the community. So if it says, yes, there's a new blog, and yes, someone needs your help, because we have team spaces and finding other people, and all these new members, you can add them in the WhatsApp, as it's called right here. It can be small, it can be large. It's very successful, I can guarantee you that. And it's much more inviting as an intranet startup page than this one. Yes, it's the blog again. One more thing if you want, for instance, project sites or parts of an intranet, I tried the digital asset manager as well, and it's quite easy. I mean, there are a lot of settings. There's a lot of ways you can do this the wrong way. This is the right way. So, add the module. There are a few settings you need to be aware of, that you create a standard folder type which is secure, the mode is normal, and then you can filter. So what I did here is there's a department communication, and here's just one folder for them on that page where they have access to read and write. So other people that do not belong to the member group, they don't have access to this. So this creates a lot of possibilities for project sites, for instance. Sebastian.
How did you realize management of group members? Because that was where I used to group it on site with 5,000 members as well. This really became a challenge because it's a group, if you have different group owners, you usually want to have the group managers the option to confirm people or invite people, and those are features I'm still missing in the group.
Yeah, that's all done by hand. So it's supervised on central location in Amsterdam, and he will do the check if you are under 18, so he will grant you access. And those 15 local UNOut groups, they all take care of their part to see are they 18 already. We still need to have an automated check on that, but there was something with the birthday type field. So once that is fixed, then we can automatically kick people out when they're 18 and other types of management. But that's all done by hand on local level.
Yeah, but I think the tools from DNN managing users are very hard to use if you have large user base. Use the DNN Connect user management makes it not as easy as it should be.
Yeah.
This is still something where I'm currently looking for a proper solution. And there was one module for I think 10 debugs on the store where you could manage users in group, but it didn't show. It didn't really do the job well with a large number of users.
Okay. Well, later this afternoon we'll make a drawing of what it should be. So we started with Lego. Here's the Lego. The big Lego pieces, that's what we used. And of course, there are a number of other components that you can use just to make the best solution you want for your intranet or project site. Daniel, does TwoSig work with the journal as well? No. Then, because I put you here just to be certain, but that's wrong. Okay, so one more step to go is what if the type you want, let's say you want to add a contact, and it's not one of the 35 journal types. Of course, you can say, well, I'm not using project journal type, and you just use that one and put your contact information there. There's the wiki explained. This is about the code. I wish it was better readable, but it's fairly straightforward. So you can just abuse another journal type. You can also create your own. So you add a new record in the journal type table, implement some save delete code using the API. You add a custom template. It's a resx file. I'll show it later. And you add a text resource because you want to have that in the settings as well.
So one point what's missing is currently is an update for the certain journal items. For example, if you have a forum post and someone updates the forum, active forums then tries to delete the journal item and recreate it, and then it breaks because this doesn't work. So this is something which still needs to be completed in here.
Yeah.
That's it. If you implement it, you need to delete because even if you don't want to delete, it's the only option at the moment you have for update.
Yeah.
I think the latest journal also has the API also has an update.
Yeah, but it's also deleting and it's not really working. That's the problem.
It's also mentioned on the wiki, by the way, what you're saying.
Yeah. It's probably his input. Okay, so that's the record. It says contact add because we're going to use that later on. Oh, this is much better. I should have done the presentation all in black. So you can see there a contact and contact ID. And here is the journal type, and this is where Pascal wrote the helper function. If you need more information, more detailed information about that, that's Pascal. Please stand up. Yeah.
Yes, you can
So
just get a hold of me later tonight if you want to have some information. And if I don't have too many readers already, then maybe I can give you a good answer.
yeah. And the template is really easy. It's just HTML and a couple of tokens. So what we did is just to prove that it is that easy. You can see the tokens for journal control, the like list, and the comment area. If you just delete that and save, this is the new journal type where we added the contact, and you can see that the option to like or to comment is there, removed there. And I think it was pretty easy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of course, there was something called Evoke Social, and he does a lot of those things as well. So you might want to think, well, maybe DNN Corp is not too happy about this, but I beg to differ, or as the Americans say, au contraire. Because the next step, if you have a community, if it is successful, it is being used intensively, you will want to know who is using my site, who are the influencers here, and how can I manage all this. And of course, one thing we did not find here yet is the whole gamification part of Evoke Social, which even more stimulates participating in the community. So this might be very well be a step towards Evoke Social. So this can end where Evoke Social can step up. But it's a very great way to start when you don't have $25,000 per year to play with. Because I think that's what it costs, right? For an accept server and a live server, something about that. And if you have a large community, you need more servers.
If you need gamification, there's a session later by Scott McCulloch who implemented the free version.
Well, brilliant. It all comes together somehow. So, what did we see? Well, we showed you our case. We showed what we did wrong and you shouldn't. And how you can extend with other modules. There was the overview, like the wiki and the blog, etc. How you can extend with your own modules. And the the phase where Evoke Social or Scott will step in. So I'm very curious to hear what he has to say. So this is what we found out, and I hope I can give you something to work with back home. And if there are any questions, if there are tech questions, I have Pascal to save me. If there are other questions, yes, please.
Are your users using the DHM module on mobile devices?
DHM module?
For the file sharing?
The DAM, the Digital Asset Manager. No, it was just a proof of concept to see whether it can work in a project site or internet environment, because there was, for me, the last piece missing. I did not check that on mobile. It's probably not working really well, because the entire admin phase of DNN is not working, is not mobile friendly. And if it's stable, it's horrible anyway. Any other questions?
Solution for events, for calendar, something like this, for groups?
Yeah,
Some solution for it?
Yeah, we use EasyDNN News for that. So it's just not for news. You can also, it's pretty much the same data, but it has a checkbox stating it's an event. And then you can add your day and time. And of course, you have categories, and it will post to your journal. In the back, please.
Did you handle, have any notification type framework, or how did that, people being notified of status updates, or did you do anything around that?
No, you mean for admins, like there's a new user or something like that?
The people on their feed or whatever have done some updates or something.
Yeah. No, we did not do that. Well, I'm actually not aware of how this works in the back, because it's done in a community environment. I myself am not a user because of privacy issues, of course. So I must ask if it's done, if they use, because every user has their own wall, of course. So I'm going to have to check with that.
And do you have any performance issues on the journal module? Because we tried it on a very large site, and we had a lot of roles in that, and when we did that, the performance went really bad.
Okay.
I rewrote some queries in that for it, but
We didn't have any. How many users do you have? Active users?
it's about 200,000 registered.
Yeah.
And it's about active users, probably about 20,000.
Okay. Because this community has 5,000 users, and most of the time about, well, it says in the users online, it says between 20 and 30. Google Analytics thinks a little differently and says it's about 80 or 90. So it works a little different apparently. So it's much smaller, I guess.
Yeah, we had a lot of data because it was an existing DNN site over like 10 years. So there was a lot of data in there, and then when we loaded all the journal stuff, it was quite slow to have on the homepage. Anyway.
Yeah.
The
Yeah. I think Oliver has a couple of sessions totally dedicated on performance, so it might be interesting for you as well.
It made some optimization with my Java scripts which affect the structure of this journal module as well, which is missing foreign key constraints and
Yeah, that's what we
indexes,
started,
and that's what what I added.
Yeah, but in the end, we found a lot of people, it's a technical community, so not many people post like status updates and links and that. They're more interested in the forums and the tech docs or the blogs and things like that. So we ended up moving away from the journal.
Okay. So what do you use right now? You just got rid of the journal, or do you use something else?
Sort of content, it's called content aggregator module, and that simulates user activity, and we're able to cache that. It's quite quick then.
Okay.
And my session's later on today, and then I've got a gamification one tomorrow.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, gonna be fun.
Yeah.
Anything else? Anyone else?
I did a site for a community as well, which was no DNN site for many years already, mostly focused on the forums. And when I tried to modernize it, for me one of the key ideas was putting the user profile in front. Before used the active forums user profile, and so I put in the DNN full user profile with all subjects, and now we even did extensions which always try to focus on the user profile. So that's one of the stop points where user get, and I think that's important for getting people connected where you can become friends and you see what other people are doing in the activity stream and so on. So I think this is something you always have to take in mind. How do you transition, or what is the focus of your site?
Yeah. Yeah, in this case, the homepage became the main focus because they all have their own activity, their own wall, but they're actually not using that. They're all just using the homepage to do updates, and of course it will be shown on their own activity stream as well, but they're all focused on the homepage. Well, lunch? Thank you all.